Junkie Nation, what's going on? Gorgeous George and Goes reporting for duty here. Going to talk to Super Sage Northcutt about his fight versus Shinya Aoki at 165, which is coming up at the end of January on January 28th. Welcome back to Junkie Radio. Sage, how are you, sir?
What's up, guys? I'm doing good. Yeah, it's coming up about a week and a half away.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that in just a second because we love Aoki, but I'm also a Sage Northcutt fan. I love this matchup. You had a homework assignment last time we talked. It's been over a year, so you probably forgot, but I'm of the opinion after seeing you do all these wicked jumps that you can just pull off, flips in midair, that you could probably be a pretty decent dunker in basketball. Then you wowed us and told us you had never even, I don't think, tried it. And anyways, did you get around to it? The Sacramento Kings, you never sit front row, or the Houston Rockets? You ever, think about it or anything, or try it?
Actually, yeah, I was supposed to go to a Kings game a couple weeks ago with a friend of mine named Daniel. He messaged me to go to the Kings game out in Sacramento, but I didn't have the chance to. I was traveling, and I think it was around the time when I was coming back from Japan to announce my fight. But yeah, dunking, I actually did try it, and I can dunk with my brother, but holding the ball is the hardest part for me.
So, like, if someone alley-oops it to you, then you can throw it down for sure?
Exactly. My brother was tossing it, I was dunking it.
All right, well, then I guess you did finish the homework assignment. Good job.
Yes,
The next thing that jumps out at me when I heard the matchup, I was like, okay, he better be working on leg locks and stuff like that, because Aoki's got a slick ground game. He does love to attack the legs. And then, of course, your last fight ended with you heel hooking. So how much time have you already been putting into that facet of your game to feel comfortable that you can sign on to fight Shinya Aoki?
Well, we did have the fight set up to fight a couple years back, and it fell through because I caught COVID just about a week or so before flying overseas to Singapore. But yeah, I've been working my grappling for the past several years a lot. Great grapplers, great teammates, great coaches. So I've been really, really preparing and training my grappling a whole lot to improve.
Team Alpha Male known for their guillotines, the front chokes, wrestling. But you guys hit the leg locks as well pretty good?
Absolutely. I mean, my last fight, it wasn't something I was looking for, but I got to secure a heel hook and something that presented itself. But yeah, I get to go with a lot of great training partners, very skilled people that come across from different parts of the world. Get trained at 10th Planet sometimes, and they have great leg locks, great grappling. So yeah, I've been working it for sure.
Those tree trunks you call legs, it's got to be hard to put you on in some of these leg locks, right? Or can good technique overcome muscle like that?
Man, thanks. You got to have the good technique for sure. You got to at least know defense and have some offense. But yeah, I think the muscle definitely helps out also.
By the way, you guys are fighting at 170. At one championship, you guys got the hydrated weigh-in, so that's obviously less taxing on the body. But Goes was telling me he saw you at Karate Combat, and I'm looking at your Instagram. You honestly look like you could line up for the Houston Texans this weekend at linebacker. Holy cow! What do you walk around?
Yeah, right. Thanks, I appreciate it. I might need some more size to me.
What do you walk around at for your weight?
Right now I'm so close to the fight, like a week and a half out. I'm right there. I'm only a couple pounds over right now, above 170.
And when you're not, though, are you over 200 easily?
No. There was a time where I wasn't getting to train. I was healing up from an injury. Just got to lift a lot of weights. Wasn't getting to do a lot of cardio, and obviously that's a little different. But when you're training so much MMA, so much wrestling, cardio. Yeah, your weight is definitely a lot lower.
That was funny. The cat went down and he popped right back up. He's like, no, I'm staying. Let
Sorry,
the cat
guys.
stay.
This cat, if I were to lock the cat in the room for a moment while we're doing an interview, the cat's so smart, it can open up the doors. It's the craziest thing.
That's a slick-looking cat. But that cat, I think, heard about jumping abilities. Like, oh, yeah, let me show you mine. What's the cat's name?
Yeah, this one's Gucci. Yeah,
Gucci.
she can definitely jump. She's funny. She likes to just hang out.
All right. Now, the reason I'm asking you all these questions is you're You remind me of Anthony Johnson. I'm sure you remember him, Rumble Johnson. A lot of people
Yes.
don't know this, but he ended his career at light heavyweight. He also fought at WSOF, now known as PFL. He was a heavyweight. He fought Andrei Arlovsky, but he
Right.
started his career, Super Sage, at 170. Can you believe that, Giant, at 170? That's what you reminded me of when I saw some of
Man.
your pictures on Instagram.
Man, thanks. You know, when I started fighting professional, I was very young. Even fighting in the previous leagues before one, I was 18 years old, 19 years old. And I'm still very young. So yeah, for the longest time, I was growing. I was fighting at 155, and now fighting at 170, hydrated. It's definitely definitely nice. But yeah, definitely growing. So who knows? Maybe in the future I'll keep growing too.
Joey Rodriguez, Danny Castillo, they never tell you, hey, taper down on the bulk. It may mess with your techniques. They never tell you anything like that at all, or have you
Oh,
ever heard that?
Danny Castillo is awesome. Yeah, well, I don't really ever bulk up. I walk around very lean all the time. I eat very clean, and I mean, with one being hydrated, I walk around pretty close to my weight class, like throughout the training camp. So, yeah, I don't really have a bulking stage. It's always I always eat very clean and train very hard.
Okay.
Sage, on the topic of coaches, and I don't want to jump too far into your game plan because that should be
Right.
secretive. But have you guys had that talk of not really falling into so much what he's gonna do, and more focus on the game that Sage Northcutt brings to the table?
Yeah, definitely. That you have different game plans obviously that you plan to execute out there, and sometimes things don't go as planned, but yeah, for sure everybody wants to have it their way out there when they fight. But I guess the biggest thing, I mean, a lot of people know that Shinya is known for his grappling, but it's not just a grappling match out there. It is mixed martial arts. You have a whole different set of tools, and same thing, it's not just a striking match. So I think really going out there and being ready for anything is very important.
As George said earlier, I did see you from a distance at Karate Combat. Now I was trying to explain to George, who's in Peru right now,
Right.
that was like a star-studded event. Like there was just monster after monster in the combat sports world that kept walking by. And what I noticed when I did see you was how many people would come say hi and greet you. And gone are the days where we were interviewing this Sage Northcutt guy that just is coming on the scene, this young kid. Those days are gone, man. You're an established veteran now. Can you maybe share the moment where you started to feel that, to feel accepted by your peers and feel like you're a veteran of this game?
Thanks. Yeah. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know if I call myself a veteran, but I had 8 fights, I believe, with the UFC, a couple fights with one championship, pro fights before. I guess the biggest thing is that most people focus on is you're only as good as your last fight. That's what they really focus on. So if you're coming off a good win, you come off a loss, whatever it might be, that's what everybody remembers. And but yeah, looking back, I've been thankful to have the career that I've had, and thankful to be back on my feet, off coming off a win, and back out there getting ready for this next fight.
Sage, do you ever have conversations with your opponents after the fight? Maybe not in the ring, but backstage or at the hotel or anything. Have you ever thought about what that conversation might be like with Aoki? Are there any questions you've ever wanted to ask him? In a way, it is kind of cool, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, a lot of the opponents that I fought before, we have conversations afterwards, or sometimes we become buddies. We train together. A couple of my fights, I've actually trained with some guys after the fight, and yeah, with Aoki, yeah, maybe I don't know. We're fighting in Japan. Maybe we'll go grab some food after, eat some Japanese food or some sushi or something. Maybe he'll show me around the city. That'd be cool. But definitely.
I can't remember if I asked you this question before. So if I did, I apologize. But when I was younger, there was this guy named Todd Marinovich. He played football, and
Okay.
his dad was a power lifter, I think, or something like that. The Marinovich clan, they actually trained BJ Penn for a while. So if that name kind of rings a bell.
Okay.
Anyway, Todd went to my high school, and one day he made the papers because they just asked him about, training under Marv Marinovich's dad and what that was like. And he went on to say, I've never even had a Big Mac. Now, by then, he was like 16 years old. And of course, everyone was like, some people didn't believe him. Other people kind of did just because of how strict the dad was. How about you? I mean, could you wow us by telling us, I've never had something that most of us have consumed just because you lead such a clean lifestyle?
Well, I can tell you what, I don't really eat fast food much. So like if you're talking about like Burger King, McDonald's, besides when I was training with Tyron Woodley for a little bit, we would go get some oatmeal. We got these I forgot what it was called. It was actually the healthiest thing from McDonald's. It was on the whim. We would get a lot of food from like Whole Foods and stuff, but if it was like 6 a.m, I remember him taking me by McDonald's. We got like a cup of oatmeal. It had some dried fruit, some brown sugar, and then we got like these egg McMuffins, I think they were. And he loved the egg McMuffins. So that I have had McDonald's, but growing up as a kid, I feel like my parents tried to put me on the right path of eating healthy, and they would make me stuff. So instead of getting like a Big Mac from McDonald's or Burger King or something, they would make me like half a pound of straight up hamburger meat with like jalapenos and cheese and lettuce, tomatoes, and the biggest, juiciest burger around. So I don't know. I kind of like that route better.
You did have the egg McMuffin, but did you ever have the Big Mac?
No, you know what? I did not. I don't recall ever having a Big Mac from McDonald's. I think I probably did as a kid at some point, but I don't remember it. I don't ever recall it.
Well, I believe you. I certainly do, man. You don't have an ounce of fat on your body. So anyway, it's great talking to you. You look like you're in great spirits. This is a great fight against an MMA legend like Shinya Aoki. Can't wait to check it out. Sage, thanks as always for the time, man. It's always great catching up with you. And I hope you have a great fight at 165, which is coming up here on January 28th. It's going to be a hybrid MMA, kickboxing, grappling event in Tokyo, Japan. So you should always tune in, folks, to One Championship. Thank you, Sage. Great talking to you.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, like you said, it's going to be a hybrid event. But I don't know if most people know, but I'll actually be fighting MMA against Shinya, and it's going to be in a boxing ring. So it's going to be kind of like in the old days. It's going to be super cool. So I'm pumped for it. And the people that can't be out in Japan, you can check it out on watch.onefc.com. And
it's a great app.
Be global pay-per-view. It's going to be good.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, Sage. Take care.
All right. Yeah. Thanks, guys.